Hello everyone. In this section of Unit 3, we're going to be considering whether we're truly entering a new era of doing business where issues of sustainability really do matter. But first of all, let's take a look at the concept of greenwashing, which we've mentioned briefly before. Now, a quick recap. What do we mean by greenwashing? Well, it's quite a derogatory negative term. It basically refers to companies who create and deploy some sort of green technology, process, policy or system, but then primarily use this as a means of marketing and advertising. We know, for example, that in today's markets, consumers tend to like products or services that are green in some way. I'm making sweeping generalisations here, but as consumers, we're more educated on issues of sustainability and how they impact on our decisions of whether to buy or not to buy. As consumers, we're educated on issues such as global warming and carbon footprints, the benefits to local communities and to the planet as well. Our buying of locally produced food, for instance. We're educated on ethical and moral issues in business, child labour, for example, and sweatshops. Consumers have always had power. Obviously, if no one buys, then firms go out of business, unemployment increases, and economies get sick. So companies, recognising that customers like companies from which they buy to be ethical and moral and, in this context, green, very simply, a company's greenness can be an attractive selling point and thus a vehicle of really quite persuasive marketing. As consumers, we might like the idea of hotels where we can save water by requesting that the towels and the sheets are not changed every day, which of course reduces costs for the hotel. The hotel's green credentials are proudly exhibited in all their marketing literature with the implicit message of "buy me and you'll save the planet." And, well, who wouldn't want to save the planet? So we book our holidays at green hotels, but are they really that green? Well, and again, I'm generalising here. Think about the food wastage in the buffets of large hotels, the energy spent on lighting the grounds, the water used for irrigating lush gardens and the air conditioning of empty rooms. And what about the uniforms of staff? Where are they made? What are they made from? Different fabrics with different dyes, for example, have different impacts on the environment as part of their manufacture. The list is endless, but, well, you understand my point. The problem is that greenwashing doesn't really tackle the problem of sustainability at the deep level that is arguably necessary to address problems like global warming and the overuse of energy and water. So we can call companies who make one or two green changes, usually those which are attractive to consumers, and invest their time and money into the marketing of these as probably being guilty of greenwashing. And it's the superficiality of greenwashing that has some people questioning its worth. This raises an interesting question, and it stays with us for the remainder of this section. The question is this: is it important for sustainability actions to be underpinned by values? In other words, is it really important for firms to really care about sustainability? Or is it the actions that are the most important thing here? So, a supermarket stops issuing free plastic bags as an environmental policy, actually a legal context now in some countries. But the driver of this decision might be based on cost reductions and the opportunities that the policy presents for some marketing that shows off the firm's green credentials. Does it matter that the supermarket might not really care about its environmental policies beyond a marketing opportunity, for example? After all, it's a supermarket. Its function is to sell food and maybe other peripherals. And at this point, let's make a reference to Milton Friedman again. Is it not right for a for-profit company to pursue profits? That the moral obligation of the firm is to maximise shareholder value? Well, it kind of depends on your views on Milton Friedman. So let's move on. Let's have a little look at an industry movement which has combined a for-profit business model with deep-rooted values of sustainability that represent the very core of the identity of the organisation and the decisions and actions that they make, both as long-term strategies as well as on a day-to-day basis. So in the link that follows, you have a documentary to watch that describes B Corps or B Corporations. The B, in case you're wondering, represents benefit. And whilst you're watching, try and think of some advantages and disadvantages of being certified as a B Corporation. So, watch, enjoy, and I'll meet up with you when you're done.